What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be unboxing and assembling the Blockies Transformers Action Edition TF Prime Optimus Prime. So this is the first TF Prime figure we've gotten from Blockies, and we get the larger format, the 7-inch figures. It does have a lot of accessories and features. Thanks to Blockies for sending this out. Has an open chest with light up feature. Of course, there's a matrix in there. Nice image here on the front. On the side, we got some product shots. You get the arm cannons, arm swords, the Star Saber, the matrix. It does have like a skeleton type system. Looks pretty good. And on the back, you get a few more product shots. And down here, it is a model kit, so you had to put it together. There's all the accessories you get. It's a lot of stuff. Display stand, magnetic light control, interchangeable faces, sword holder, Decepticon, interchangeable shoulder armor. Oh, you can make him into a Decepticon. That's interesting. All right, let's get it open. And yeah, a lot of people are excited about this. We don't get a lot of Transformers Prime stuff. I know it's another Optimus Prime, but still. All right, so we get a collector's card. Nice image of TFP Optimus Prime. And there's their website. And here's the booklet. I heard this one is a little more complex. Let's see. 328 pieces. So definitely, more complex than the standard Blockies figure. 24 runners. So that's a lot of parts. So just like the others, you build it, build the head, build the torso, build the arms, and then the legs, and then you put it together. And you also got to assemble the weapons. I don't always show the assembly of the weapons just because, I don't know, it doesn't go with the video to kind of show how you build it, but here's the instructions for that. And then the stand. So we're going to get this built like we normally do. I'll build it from the ground up in stop motion style. All right, there is TFP Optimus Prime fully assembled, and he looks very good. This is a really well done, screen accurate version of Optimus. I'm going to put this aside. This build is the same. This assembly is the same as it's always been. It's the same design. So I didn't even show it in the review, but it does say Transformers here. We'll get back to this in a little bit. But let's take a look at this guy. He's got some silver paint with yellow marker lights on the side, translucent dark blue. There is a replacement glass if you prefer a different color. Nice red. I think it's plastic color and not paint, but it does have a glossy finish. Autobot logo there, which you can swap out. I'll show you that. Silver for the thighs, the waist, the abs, gold accents here. You do have the rubber tires, the double wheels, which looks really nice. I like how they did that. And the wheels back here as well. They do roll, but they're kind of stuck in place there. So I just like the fact that they're rubber, Overall, it's a really good looking version of Optimus. These are movable. There's actually a lot of articulation on this guy, so I'm going to go over it. And then we'll go over accessories, but there's the head sculpt. It's a really good looking head sculpt. Head is on a ball joint, and the neck is on a ball joint as well. So it goes up to there on a double ball peg, down to there, side to side, and rotates around. We do have some swap out faces I'll show you in a little bit later. Shoulder pad can go in and out. This peg or piece here can move out of the way. So the shoulder go up to there. You have a rotation here at the shoulder. Out to the side, up to there. Butterfly joint built in gets you up to there and a little bit back as well. Rotation at the bicep. You do have a double jointed elbow. You have to pull down on the forearm. That'll give you the full bend on the elbow, double jointed elbow. If you don't pull that down, you get basically up to there. It kind of collides, so you do have to pull it down to get the full effect, which is really well done. Hands are on a ball joint, so those go in and out, up and down, rotate around. Thumb is on a ball joint. The fingers are not individually articulated like we've gotten in the past, but it does have swap out fingers, which I'll show you when we get to accessories. Coming down to the waist, we have a joint here, so that can rotate, and then there's an ab crunch down here and here. So just the top one gets you to there. You get the bottom one, you combine them together. He does have like a spine back here. As you can see, there's two joints. That works pretty well, and it looks good as well. For the waist, the hip skirts, these are just on ball pegs, so they'll move out of the way. You can see they're just attached like that. These can slide up and down and rotate. Legs are on drop-down hinges, so if you pull that down at the hip, they both move together, but once you pull it down, you can get the leg way up, way back, out to the side. Nice tolerance on that. Rotation at the thigh on a universal. Double jointed knee with multiple moving pieces, almost 3-0 like. You've got the knee pad here, you got this inner knee pad, and then you got the leg. And there's a little bit of gold piece in there, so I'll just show you one more time. That's awesome. Coming to the feet, you have ankle tilts side to side. You have a toe tilt up and down. The toe and the ankle can tilt forward and backward. These can move in and out of the way. So kind of get them, they just kind of rest on the side of the feet. You do have some lights back here, I forgot to mention that, on the back of the legs, and some like details. All right, now let's take a look at the accessories, and this guy comes with quite a few accessories. We'll start off with the matrix, which is already in the chest. To open it up, you're going to flip open this panel. Then we're going to pull forward on this red piece. Just be careful as you pull it up forward, and then fold it open. Same on this one, pull this forward, and then fold it open. Come to the bottom, you're going to open up these two panels. And there is your matrix. Pretty cool. Pop this out. I'm just going to use a spudger to grab it. And here's how it looks. Translucent blue, gold paint. There is a light up feature here. So if you bring in your magnet from the stand, you can hold it to the chest. That'll turn on the light. I'm going to hold it to his back since he's got his chest open. So if you press it once, it turns on solid. And you can see it lights up the eyes as well as the matrix chamber. Nice and bright. That looks really cool. If you press it one more time, it'll pulsate. So get that. And if you have the matrix inside there, it will indeed light up the matrix and the eyes. I think that's a really cool effect. And while we're here at the chest, we'll show you the alternate chest piece. So if you remove this, it's just tabbed in right here. We can separate this piece from the back. And this is a little bit of a pain to do, so I don't recommend you do this too many times, but separate these pieces from the front, and then we can push this through and pop this off. Again, be careful as you do this. You don't want to break these tabs. Here is the replacement. You get like a translucent with some sculpted detail behind it. So just replace those pieces that we just took out. And like I said, I don't recommend you do this too many times just because you're putting stress on these pegs and tabs. And then this kind of locks it in on the back. So make sure you get this back on here. And make sure you get the slot on the top. So give that a little squeeze to make sure that's fully attached. This will attach back onto this armature right here. And then we can close up the bottom part first. Close this, push it in, close this, push that in, bring this down, and now we've got that different looking chest. That's pretty cool also. It's nice to have the options. You also have the option to remove this panel. So if you want to take out this back panel, you prefer to see the tires or whatever, you can take that off and have this look. Personally, I think it looks better with it, but they do show that in the book, so I wanted to mention it. All right, the next accessory we get is swap out shoulder pads. So you can get this Decepticon logo instead of the Autobot logo. To do that, you're going to pull out on this. And again, it's quite a bit of steps, so I don't recommend you do this too many times, but pop these off, slide this out, slide that out, and then you're going to replace all of that on here. So attach this up here. And then attach these little wings on the side. And take this, and this will slide onto these. And now we got our shoulder pad, and you're going to slide it back into the top there onto this gold piece. And this can be a little tricky, to be honest. You got to hold this while you slide this back on. There is the Decepticon logo shoulder pads. Personally, I would just leave it. Not necessarily need the thing from the one episode, but you have the option. Another thing you get is alternate hands. So we are going to use some of those because we want to use some of the weapons. So first, the hands pop off. They are on a ball joint. And we get 3 different styles of hands. So first, we get a gun gripping hand. So to swap this out, you're going to pull out on this fingers part. Take the new hand, slide that back on. And you'll see there's a peg hole there. And I guess I forgot to mention, there is a in and out movement here at the wrist. There's a little bit of a movement on this joint here, but it's already on a ball joint, so you don't really need it. And now he can hold his sword. And you do get 2. You get the silver and the translucent blue. These are very good looking swords. There's a slot here in the handle. So you can take this and just peg that into the hand. All right, once you get it tabbed in, you can take the thumb and kind of put that in place. But that's a good looking sword. I really like how that turned out. It's a nice option. We also get another alternate hand. So again, if you slide this out, you can pop this in, and you'll see there's just a peg hole. You're kind of just giving a thumbs up, to be honest. This one, there isn't really a weapon that you pop into there. So, that one's not necessarily the most useful hand, but it does have that option. And then we get this just closed-fisted hand, which, me personally, I think this is the least useful of all the hands, but completely closed fist. So you can have that look. I would never use that one just because it doesn't have any utility, but if you take off the hands completely, we do get an alternate style thumb as well. So if you want a thumb in this position, just pop this on the ball joint. And now we have like a posed curled thumb. So you have that. But if we leave the hand off for now, we can grab these blasters and it'll just peg in right where the hands were. So you can do that. And just to give you the full effect, boom. He's got blaster hands. And we also get these arm swords. So to utilize these, you can do it one of two ways. You can either take this adapter, and this will plug in right here. And this adapter actually makes this universal to any figure. So now, because it's a ball jointed gun, this can mount to any Action Edition figure that's come out from Blockies. So that's a nice little touch by them to allow you to do that. So we're going to take this and this can plug into his hands. So you get that look. And you come to the side, you're going to open up this panel. It's on a slide down joint, so you can slide it down, open it up. You'll see there's a slot there. That will allow you to attach this on the side of the arm like that. You can close down the panel. So either way, you can use these weapons. All right, one other accessory we get is this sword mounting peg. So come to the back here, you'll see there's a slot and a peg shaped just like that. So just get this plugged in. And honestly, I'm just going to leave that there. I think it looks cool. No reason to take it out, really. Then grab your sword, either one. You'll see there's a slot right here in the hilt. And it's designed to fit at an angle, so you can get that pegged on there. And now he has that slung across his back. I think that's a very cool look for him. Our last bit of accessories are alternate faces. So we can swap out the face. A little bit of a challenge, but go ahead and pop the head off. We can pull forward on this. And actually, I think you can pull this off after you remove the head crest. And then you can grab one of the alternate faces. So we get this open mouth. And it's hard to visualize, so I'm just going to put this back in. But there's an open mouth, kind of yelling face. There's sort of a squinting, grimacing face. And the last accessory is his battle mask, which you can just put over any of the faces. Doesn't matter, but that'll look like that. And I actually like that look, but your option. All right, and for a size comparison, there it is next to the Blockies Action Edition G1 Optimus Prime and the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. And you can see he's quite a bit taller. This is the first one that's come in at this height. So instead of, roughly 7.5 inches for these two, this one is coming in at 8.25 to the top of the head, maybe a little bit more. So significantly bigger. I guess they're okay with modifying the scales, but yeah, I like the look of this. So final recommendations on the Blockies Transformers Action Edition TFP Optimus Prime. This is a pretty fun figure. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'm going to recommend it. Overall, pretty nicely articulated, lots of options for accessories and just display in general. I like that they gave you two different choices for the chest wing, as well as the face and the face mask and the shoulders. And then the weapons themselves can be displayed in multiple different ways. I didn't really talk about the stand because the stand is basically the same as the ones we've been getting in the past. So it is the same. It's got the same articulation. It can hold up the figure for poses like this. But yeah, overall, I do think it's a pretty good action figure version of this character. Now, there are a couple little fiddly bits here on the waist section I found. And, just have to be careful when you're posing it because there's a lot of stuff to just run into and, pop off. But other than that, really fun, really cool figure. I think fans of this character and this show would be pretty happy with, what we got here. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.